Happy Wednesday. Glory and honor to our Father Yahweh, the creator of heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, the one in whose hand is all time. Glory and honor to Father Yahweh. Glory and honor to Messiah Yahweh Shai, the high priest that sits at the right hand of the Father, representing to the Father on our behalf perfect righteousness, so that the Father, through him and the atonement for sins of his people, can forgive us our sins and pour his spirit upon us, that we might give him honor and glory. Glory and honor to Father Yahweh. Glory and honor to Messiah Yahweh Shai. Greetings to the 12 tribes scattered into the four corners of the earth because of the worship of other gods, who are now returning to the Father Yahweh. Greetings. Greetings also to the 144,000, the forerunners of the return of the Messiah, the forerunners of the return of Father Yah. Greetings. Greetings also to the precious ones among the children of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, who have given themselves to the perfect righteousness of the Father through the Mashiach, Messiah Yahweh Shai, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Greetings. Greetings to the chat. Sister Hebrews Rhonda, Brother Gary Joseph, Brother Superstar, Castle King Ruel, Brother Mark. Greetings to all of you, Sister Azariah Israel, Brother Stephen Kelly. Greetings to all of you. As you can see from the thumbnail, they have many events that have taken place in the last 7 days. Many events have taken place in the last 7 days, as you can see for yourself. And let's start with, let's see, where should we start? Let's start with the assassination, or so-called assassination attempt on President, or should I say the former President, Donald J. Trump. So apparently Donald J. Trump was golfing in his personal golf course in Florida, and the Secret Service was on the golf course, and there's Secret Service on all sides of him as he's golfing. And the Secret Service that was in front of him spotted a man, or saw the barrel of a rifle pointing out of a fence. The Secret Service agent fired his weapon and yelled "gun," at which case the would-be assailant fled. They caught the assailant, and that was the story. They called it an assassination attempt number 2 on Donald J. Trump. It appears to me that in 2 so-called assassination attempts, there were 2 so-called white men with guns trying to kill this white man, so-called white man. So apparently there are white males in the United States of America that would love to bust a cap in the behind of the former president. Now, that seems to be the situation. Also, at the same time, same week as this happened, Puff Daddy Diddy Biddy Combs was arrested for sex trafficking, and apparently prostitution, and apparently abuse, and all of that. And apparently they got a pile of evidence against Puff Daddy, Puffy Diddy Biddy, and it looks pretty bad for him. Now, thing is, brother, I want to say this. Apparently, in 1,000 bottles of lubricant, apparently, I say, in the black neighborhood. Now, you tell me if I'm wrong, because there's a lot of Hebrews in the room. We've been hearing stuff about Puff Daddy, I would say, for at least 10, 15 years now. Am I lying about that or not? Like, is any of us really surprised at this event, at this arrest? Are we really surprised with the rumors that's been going on all the way back with Puff Daddy and Jay-Z, if you recall? And back when Big L was alive, and they wouldn't deal with dudes like Puff and Jay-Z, you know, and you know what I'm saying, right? Like this stuff goes back a long way. And let's take it a little further, if I may. Since we see that this has been happening with this particular individual for, let's say, you know, since the late 90s, you know, early 2000s, you think he's the only one that's up to such things? Do you think Puff Diddy Biddy created this industry? Is he the only entertainer that's involved with these things? I mean, really, what happened, and see, this is why I'm speaking to people that are into the truth and know the truth. Look, Biddy Diddy pissed off the wrong people. Did you hear what I said? He ticked off the wrong people. That's what happened. He ticked off the wrong people and found out. That's what happened. Same thing with Bill Cosby. Same thing with R. Kelly. You took off the wrong folks because, brethren, look, pornography, child pornography is a multi-billion-dollar business. Let me say it again. Pornography and child pornography is a multi-billion-dollar business. That's a lot of money that's being spent. And when that kind of money is being generated, okay, somebody's making that money. And it's got to be people that's powerful. Again, what does the word tell us? Ephesians, right? Ephesians. See, the Bible tells us everything. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Right. Remember Epstein, right? Oh, we're going to talk more about this. Hold on a second. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Spiritual wickedness in high places, the rulers of the darkness of this world. So, brethren, this stuff is going on a high level all over the earth. And we have had, I could put it in the description box. I got a whole file of testimonials from women that have been snatched or even sold by their parents or raised up in sex trafficking. It's a huge business. It's international. It's worldwide based on what these witnesses are telling us. A lot of times the parents themselves are selling their own children into these things all over the earth. Okay? So what we are seeing from Diddy, Pitty, whatever his name is, Puff Daddy, what we are seeing here is just the lifting of the lid of what's going on that we don't even see. It's showing you what's happening behind the scenes. And look, y'all remember Epstein. Brother Kelly just mentioned Epstein. Have you heard anything else about Epstein? About any of the big names that supposedly were involved with his island and what he was into? Didn't it just go away? Y'all know that, right? It just went away. You don't hear no more about Clinton. You don't hear no more about anybody that was involved with Epstein, his so-called list. You don't hear nothing else about it. It went away. Now, why is that? Because Epstein and his girl, I forgot his girl name because they got her locked up, they ticked off the wrong people. They ticked off the wrong people, and that was that. But what we should recognize is that what you're seeing is just a glimpse of what is going on a vast basis behind the scenes. That's all this means. See, they got you focusing on Bill Cosby or focusing on Diddy or focusing on Epstein. But instead of focusing on these individuals, we should understand that this is just a small part of a vast system of what's going on. Okay, it's a big world out there. And there are millions of victims. Okay, so number one, we see Trump. And what does this mean for Trump? Well, for Trump, this is the thing about Donald J. Trump. He's been indicted on felonies. Some of those felonies could get him prison time. And if you recall, in the last year and a half, 2 years, he has had his lawyers and he has been having his followers, and I call them followers because they think he's some sort of messiah, and they giving him all kind of money because they're desperate to support and grow, and what they call taking back their country is really the growth of white nationalism and white supremacy. They're desperately trying to get him back in office, and he is desperately trying to delay all of the trials he has against him, because when he loses, he could go to jail. And on top of it, costing him, the woman that he was charged with sexual assault already won like 100 million or something from him. So, and then there's that case with Letitia James that he lost on the fraud. They ain't finished yet. So he wanted to delay it until the election, hoping to win the election. And then once he wins, he gets power and he squashes everything. So he is desperate to win. Why do I mention that? Well, could be this second assassination attempt. At least he's trying to make it, give himself a bump in the polls. I'll just leave that there, because no shot was actually fired. And the first dude, apparently, they lit that brother up as soon as he shot. Apparently, they say he squeezed his trigger, and seconds after he squeezed his trigger, that was the end of him. So he ain't got no testimony. It's like unbelievable. Like, leave no witnesses. What you think this is? Right? So that was that. Because this brother's desperate to stay out of jail. And he pulling out all the stops to make sure he can win this election. But it's not looking good at the moment. Let's move on. Then there's Sarah Homely Huckabee Sanders. Sarah Homely Huckabee Sanders, governor of Arkansas, formerly in the Trump cabinet, stood up there talking about her children keep her humble. And apparently, Kamala Harris doesn't have children to keep her humble. And everybody's tripping because she's focusing on the children. But what people are missing, again, brethren, we see the deal here. The population of the United States among the children of Yafet is decreasing. It's decreasing faster than they want to admit. Their fertility rates are below replacement level. What do I mean by that? That means if they don't do something drastic and quick, they will go extinct. And so they are on the DL. See, it's coming to light because they've been pushing this anti-abortion stance, right? And I'm against abortion myself, right? But they're not pushing it to save babies in general. They're pushing it to save white babies. That's what they're pushing it for. Because see, when they created Planned Parenthood, it was to destroy brown and black babies. Margaret Sanger was trying to destroy the population of brown and black people. But what ended up happening when they brought that whole women's lib thing into existence, they dogged themselves because the women's lib thing caused the white woman's argument with the white man to turn into big time career paths for the white woman. And she didn't want to have no babies to slow down her career. Then she started getting stressed, and so she's having trouble, conceiving, which is why now they're pushing this IVF, in vitro fertilization, to try to have more babies. In fact, it was only a few years ago that a former senator from Wisconsin said, our problem as white people is we need to have more babies. He said it very plainly, just like that. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Sarah Homely Huckabee, is just concerned. She's expressing that's the new code for we white people need to have more babies, and we need to push an agenda to have more babies because we're dying out. That's why you're also getting this whole let us take our country back, because brown people, yellow people, and black people are taking over the population so that they can see in the future where they're going to be. They want to call it a majority minority, but they'll just be a minority. And they can't stand it. And they're trying all they can to mask it, to mask the real agenda. They need to have more babies. So that was interesting. I found that very interesting. She was trying to attack Kamala Harris. And look, I want to be clear. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris. I'm not voting for Donald Trump either. But I'm just trying to express what's happening with respect to us, the people of prophecy. So she is trying her best. And let's break down what we got so far. So we got the dirt of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. That lid was lit up a little bit by Betty Diddy. Then you get the desperation of Trump to stay out of jail and create any stunt he can to try to beat Kamala Harris, because if he don't win this election, he's in trouble. Which is him trying to save himself. Then you got Sarah Huckabee Homeless Sanders trying to say, we need more babies. Again, it's the people in power trying to save themselves. There's one more. Then, on top of all of that, just this week, people who were suspected of being part of Hezbollah were having their electronic devices, pagers, blow up on them. Yesterday and today. Today, some more blew up all over Lebanon. All over Lebanon. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a hypothetical question. Let's say there were members of the U.S. government. Pick any branch, except the president. Not the president, but any branch. Let's say members of the Treasury, members of the Federal Reserve. Let's say all their cell phones was blowing up. And some of them got killed and some of them got badly injured. And some, let's say that happened yesterday and today in the United States of America. Let's say there was mayors in major cities and governors and their pages and their cell phones started blowing up and people got hurt. Let's say 1,000 people got hurt or killed. Do you think the United States would find out who did it? And do you think there'd be steps taken immediately against the perpetrators? Do you think that would happen? Like immediately? Yes. And let's switch the roles. Let's say in the Israeli cabinet, their people that was in the Israeli government, their pages was blowing up and their people was getting killed. Do you think the United States and all of the allies would be on the case, find out who did it, and immediately march on them and take care of business? But wait a minute. This happened to the Palestinians and Lebanese. What have we heard? Nothing. Nothing. So what's going on now? It's the exaltation of the state of Israel. And that's coming to a head. That's going to continue. It's going to come hard. The exaltation of the state of Israel, who are in the truth know to be Edomites, with the help of the lamb-like beast, and of course, behind the scenes, the major beast. Now, let's go a step further. Have y'all ever heard, let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever heard of a group of people in the United States, probably in other countries too, but mostly the United States, and though it probably includes a lot of different classes of people, mostly Caucasian males, that call themselves, among other things, preppers? Have you ever heard of preppers? Preppers, like pepper, but it's prepper. Preppers. You ever heard of these people? They're called preppers. What is a prepper? A prepper is a person that believes in what they call, there's going to come a day that they call SHTF. Ish hits the fan. That there's going to be a doomsday and that they got to be prepared because the doomsday is coming. And what they're doing is they're stockpiling goods. They're stockpiling canned foods. They're stockpiling boxed foods and foods that can be stored for years. And they are stockpiling ammunition and guns. There's a lot of them. They're in the United States. They're mostly Caucasian males. And they're preparing for when it hits the fan. Now, look, what does the Bible say? See, this is what we have to understand and where the the proverbial rubber hits the road. Let's look at what the Bible says, okay? And we're living, of course, we are the people of the book of Revelation. We are living in the time of the fulfillment, complete fulfillment of the entire book of the Revelation, okay? So here, back in Revelation 13, we're going to use, of course, the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. So let's take a look at Revelation chapter 13. And talking about the beast, okay? Revelation chapter 13, talking about the beast, which we know to be the office of the Pope of Rome. And he controls all religions and governments from that office, okay? Organized religions. He don't control Yah, but he controls all man-made religions from that office. And he's a government, okay? Okay. Revelation 13. I'm going to begin at verse 4 and read down to verse 8. Revelation 13 from verse 4 to verse 8. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given to him to continue 40 and 2 months, 3.5 years. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahweh, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Verse 8. And all. I want you to note the word. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. All. So, except for the remnant people of Yah, whose names are written in the book of life. And that's what's written in the book. I think we can all understand that. It's not the majority of people. It's the remnant. It's the remnant of Yah. And we're going to talk more about that. But that's whose names are written in the book. Now, except for the remnant, does that include everybody? It says all that dwell upon you. Does that mean any prepper can escape? Will a prepper escape because he's got food and guns? Will he? Look. Even in terms of pure numbers, okay? I don't know how many armed police there are in the United States, but I did look up, there's 1.2 million armed, active duty personnel of military in the United States on the land, right here. 1.2 million. That doesn't include almost 800,000 civilians. That doesn't include the Coast Guard. That doesn't include the reserve. That's 1.2 million full-time active duty armed people on the United States soil, not including the police departments. And they think, no, seriously, do they really think that their preparation is going to be enough to stop that? Wait a minute. So that's the office of the Pope. The office of the President of the United States, the office, is the image to the beast created by the lamb-like beast. It's the lamb-like beast, the government of the United States of America, with the image to the beast, who is the office of the President. So let's take a look at that. Revelation chapter 13. Verse 11, from verse 11 down to verse 15. This is the Bible telling us. This is the Bible telling us. And I'm going to give you 2 or 3 witnesses. We still on one witness. Watch. Revelation chapter 13, verse 11 down to verse 15. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live. The image, the beast, is a combination of religion and government. That's the beast. The Pope of Rome is the head of his government. His government is the Vatican. It's a government. And he's the head of the Catholic Church, which is the head of all Christian churches. So he's the only person on earth that has that. There's nobody else on the planet that is the head of a whole church and the whole organized religion of Christianity, and at the same time, the head of a sovereign government. Nobody else has that. So that you, in an image, you're going to get a similar situation that honors the Pope. That is the President of the United States, and what we now know to be white Christian nationalism. Have you ever heard of that? White Christian nationalism. What is that? That's a governmental movement of Christianity on a national basis. Do you guys hear what I said? Nationalism. That is Christian nationalism. And it really is, I call it white Christian nationalism, because ain't nobody else doing it but them. And we know the purpose of it. And it's encapsulated in the office of the President of the United States. So that the President of the United States is a white Christian nationalist, or in the case of Kamala Harris, a coon on behalf of the white Christian nationalists. That includes Ashkenazi Jews and Muslims, the 3 Abrahamic religions, in the image of the beast. And he says, verse 15, and he had power to give life, that is, to give power to the image of the beast, the office of presidency. Do you know what happened in the Supreme Court this year? That they said Donald Trump is immune from some of the things he did on January 6th. Did y'all hear that already? Supreme Court has already stated that Donald Trump is immune for some of the things he did on January 6th. That all of the charges they brought, they have to drop some of them because he's immune. They already did that. They gave the president power to declare war and make war without Congress. Already did that. That's why the dude wants to be president, to get out all this problem he got. Okay? All right, so now he had power to give life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and causes would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So look. Question. You think a prepper can stop that? Can a prepper trying to save himself stop that? Can a prepper trying to save himself stop that? Can he pile up enough canned goods and guns to stop that? No, they will come and take your stuff. That's what they're going to do. You got no protection. Zero. We're going to talk about protection in a minute. But look, all the guns in the world ain't going to protect you. All the ammunition, all the canned goods. Listen, they come rolling up in there and they will take it. It's like when James Meredith was trying to enroll at the University of Mississippi. If y'all recall, I think that was 1961, right? I think it was 61. He was trying to enroll at the University of Mississippi, 1961, right? And Ross Barnett was the racist governor of Mississippi at that time. And John Kennedy was the president. And John F. Kennedy and Ross Barnett, they had a phone conversation. And they recorded the phone conversation. And Ross Barnett says, now listen here, man. He said, come on now, President. We can't do it this way. We just can't do it this way. And John F. Kennedy basically said, listen, James Meredith is going to go to school at the University of Mississippi. And you don't want me to bring the full power of the government down there. And Ross Barnett completely understood what he was saying. It's like when Rome was coming through, there was nothing nobody could do except surrender. It's like our second witness. Let's go to the second witness in the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 44. What happened here? Actually, it's Jeremiah chapter 43. What happened in Jeremiah 43, right, is Babylon taking Judah. And the Most High telling Judah, listen, surrender to the Babylonians. I've given them everything. I've given Nebuchadnezzar everything. So surrender to him. And those that followed suit survived. Those that tried to fight against the Babylonians were destroyed. And what did we just read, brethren? Didn't we just read in the book of Revelation that it was given to him to overcome the saints? It was given to him, and that all that are not written in the book of life shall worship him. So that means you got two choices. Either you're going to try to get written in the book of life by the grace of the Father, Yah, which means you're going to be following the truth and be repentant. And you better be finding you some Hebrews, because you got to follow the head Hebrew, Messiah YHWH, in order to come through. Or you're going to worship the beast, period. You ain't got but two choices here, okay? This is Jeremiah chapter 43. This is the warning that was given to Judah, okay? Jeremiah chapter 43. I'm going to begin, let's see. They were trying to run to Egypt and think they could be saved in Egypt. I'm going to start at verse 1. And I'm going to go from verse 1. Let's see. I'm going to go from verse 1 down to verse 10. And it came to pass that when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking unto all the people all the words of Yahweh their Most High, for which Yahweh their Most High sent him to them, even all these words, then spake Azariah the son of Hashaiah, and Yachanan the son of Kareah, and all the proud men, saying unto Jeremiah, thou speakest falsely. Yahweh our Most High hath not sent thee to say, go not into Egypt to sojourn there, but Baruch the son of Nariah setteth thee on against us to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldeans, that they might put us to death and carry us away captives into Babylon. So Yachanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces and all the people obeyed not the voice of Yahweh to dwell in the land of Judah. But Yachanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces took all the remnant of Judah that were returned from all nations, whither they had been driven, to dwell in the land of Judah, even men and women and children and the king's daughters and every person of Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had left unto Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, and Jeremiah the prophet, and Baruch, the son of Neriah, and they came into the land of Egypt, for they obeyed not the voice of Yahweh. Thus they came into Tahpanhes. Then came the word of Yahweh unto Jeremiah into Tahpanhes, saying, take great stones in thy hand and hide them in the clay, in the brickland, which is in the entry of Pharaoh's house, into Tahpanhes, in the sight of the men of Judah, and say unto them, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Most High of Israel, behold, I will send and take Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will set his throne upon these stones that I have hid, and he shall spread his royal pavilion over them. Verse 11. And when he cometh, he shall smite the land of Egypt and deliver such as for death to death, and such as for captivity to captivity, and such as for the sword to the sword. For I will kindle a fire in the houses of the gods of Egypt, and he shall burn them and carry them away captives, and shall array himself in the land of Egypt as a shepherd putteth on his garment. And he shall go forth from thence in peace, and he shall break also the images of Bashamash and the land of Egypt. In the houses of the gods of the Egyptians shall he burn with fire. When the Most High decides he's going to let somebody win, there's nothing anybody could do about it. He has decided that Babylon was going to take Judah. He has decided that the beast is going to take the earth, with the exception of those who have the seal of Yah in their foreheads. So it's already starting. I call it phase 1 of hitting the fan. But I told you 3 witnesses. So let's go to Daniel chapter 8. Daniel chapter 8, talking about the same beast. And of course, when we're talking about the beast, whatever applies to the beast also applies to his image, because it's the image of the beast. Daniel chapter 11. Daniel chapter 11. Let's see. I'm going to read from we're talking about the little horn, which is the same thing from Daniel chapter 7, which is the same thing as the beast of Revelation chapter 13, same little horn. Okay. So let's go here in Daniel chapter 8, going from verse 9 down to verse 12, from 9 to 12. And then I want to skip down because it's going to tell you more about this beast later in chapter 8. But let's go from verse 9 to 12. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south and toward the east and toward the pleasant land. And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven. And it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them. Yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host. That is, even he thought he was bigger than Messiah. You know, they do call the Pope Holy Father. Even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary cast down. And the host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. Let's skip down. Verse 23. 23 to 25. Daniel chapter 8, from verse 23 to 25. Talking about the same thing here. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. That's wrong. And the United States. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft, that is deception, to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Let's go back to Jeremiah for a second. Let me show you one more thing in Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 25. Jeremiah chapter 25. Show you one more thing. The Most High says this to the heathen, that, the preppers that worship white Jesus and think they're going to be all right, the preppers, and all like them. Jeremiah chapter 25. I'm going to read verse 28 and 29. Jeremiah 25, verses 28 and 29. Jeremiah chapter 25, verses 28 and 29. Watch this. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thy hand to drink, then thou shalt say unto them, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. That is also Revelation 14, the cup of his indignation. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name. And should ye be utterly unpunished? Ye shall not be unpunished. For I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith Yahweh of hosts. So you think you're going to escape because you're buying food? Or because you got guns? Or because you live in the woods? You won't escape. See, brethren, our deliverance is going to be just like our father's deliverance. Our father's deliverance in Egypt was not because they were prepared. It was because they trusted in the blood. They first trusted in the word that was given through Moses to put that blood over their houses. And they were told that you're going to stand up and eat that lamb, because by the midnight, you're going to be running. And you're going to take everything you could just carry and run. And they were delivered. And the deliverance wasn't because they had swords. The deliverance because they had Father Yah. It's going to be just like that for us. It's going to come to the point where we have to. You see, brethren, when we're standing on the sea of glass, okay, and let's go there. When we're standing on the sea of glass, Revelation chapter 7 and Revelation chapter 15. Revelation chapter 7 and Revelation chapter 15. First, let's go to 15. Let's go to 15 first. Revelation chapter 15. When we're standing on the sea of glass, all praise, all honor, all glory from all of us will be on the Father Yah and the Lamb. There'll be no thought that we did anything to save ourselves. They will get all the honor and the glory because them alone saved us. You see, we are only going to be delivered because we are covered in perfection of righteousness. We get that perfection of righteousness, the Bible says, through repentance as a gift. You cannot make yourself righteous. You cannot make yourself perfect. It's given to you by grace as a gift. Perfection of righteousness is not something we attain. It's something we receive as a gift. And that is what delivers us. The Father sees that upon us and delivers us. Revelation chapter 15. Revelation 15 from 1 to 8. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. Here's where it really hits the fan. See, ain't no prepper could be ready for this. This is where it really hits the fan, brethren. And they can't do nothing about it. Here it is right here. In them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire. And them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Yahweh. That's the 144,000. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Yahweh Al Shaddai, and just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Yahweh, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, and clothed with pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. One of the 4 angels gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden vials, full of the wrath of Yahweh, who liveth forever and ever. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of Yahweh and from his power. And no man was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled. That's really the last phase of the ish hitting the fan. And when it does, there's nothing nobody could do to stop it. We must learn our Heavenly Father and his Spirit to guide and direct us, and his word. That's our deliverance, brother. If we follow the word and follow the Spirit, don't you understand he will lead you where you're going to be safe? He's the only one. As he protected our fathers through the Red Sea and into the wilderness, he sure will protect us. And he's going to show us the same way to go and how to be prepared, brother. See? And when you see all of these things, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris and Sarah Huckabee and assassination attempts and all of the Beatty Diddy and all that, it's all happening right now in front of us. Everything is going crazy right now, brother. It's already happening, okay? And it's going to get wilder. Wait a minute. I said Revelation 7 too, right? Revelation chapter 7. Revelation chapter 7. Watch this. Revelation 7. And brethren, here we are. We're the last people. We are the last generation. 144,000 is among us. We're the last ones. Our deliverance is a Father Yah. The power that he's going to have us speak with very shortly is a Father Yah. And again, he is going to deliver us. And there's nothing nobody can do to stop us. We won't have, see, I got guns. I like guns. A lot of y'all got guns. I like guns. I do. I like shooting them. I like collecting them. But I know very well that there's going to come a time where they ain't going to help me. See, right now, God forbid, somebody should try to creep in my crib right now in the middle of the night. They would have a problem. It would be a very bad day. But that ain't happening. So there's going to come a time where I'm going to have to give up my gats, man. I already know. I got to give up my gats. It's going to be a time when I got to give up my gats. I know it. It's okay, though. Brethren, it's okay. The Father got us, okay? He's going to have us. No gat's going to be able to save us. Father got us. See? Our enemy's going to trust in gats. Ain't going to work. Ain't going to help them. They're going to have all kind of technology. Blowing up phones, blowing up pagers. They're going to have all kind of technology, brethren. They got it. Heat-seeking devices. It won't help them. Father Yah is the Most High in the third heaven above the firmament that covers the whole earth. What they going to do to him? And what they going to do to his people? Revelation chapter 7. After the 144,000 is sealed and the winds let loose, that's when it's going to hit the fan. Revelation chapter 7, verse 9. Revelation chapter 7, verses 9 down to verse 17. This is talking about the great multitude of the redeemed and the 144,000. We already were introduced earlier in the chapter to the 144,000, right? But now let's go to verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our Most High, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the angels stood round about the throne and about the elders and the four beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces and worshiped Yahweh, saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our Most High forever and ever. Amen. And one of the elders, here's the 144,000 right here. Right? And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes? And whence came they? So he's not talking about the numberless multitude, because it already told you who they were. There's another group. And if you notice again, for those of you that don't know already, the numberless multitude had palms in their hands. The 144,000 will not have palms in their hands. When you read Revelation 15 and Revelation 14, 1-4, you will see they have harps in their hands. So the numberless multitude have palm branches in their hands, because it's the Feast of Tabernacles. And the 144,000 have harps in their hands. So there's a group with palms, very large group, which no man can number. And then there's a smaller group. Verse 14. And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation. That's us. And have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. That's perfection. Therefore are they before the throne of Yahweh, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more. Neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. Oh yeah, we got to deal with all that, brother. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters. And Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Yes, just like he's leading them when we saw Revelation 14:1 on Mount Zion, he's leading them here, because not only are they the 144,000, they are the bride. Praise the Most High. So we're going to have to hunger. We're going to have to be thirsty. It's going to get really hot. You're already seeing it getting hot. I mean, we're already seeing that. We're seeing extremes in heat. And we're seeing extremes in cold in the winter. But we're seeing extremes in heat already. And so we're going to be in places where we're going to be dependent on the Father for food and water. Just like Elijah was. Right? Just like our Israelite fathers were when they were delivered from Egypt. We're also going to be dependent on the Father, and it's going to be hot. Just like our fathers did, he will provide water for us. And we're going to still be thirsty. He's going to allow us, the Bible says, suffer thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna which thou knewest not, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh doth man live. We must trust in the word of the Father and in his Spirit without any doubt, without any fear. Okay, we must, this is where for us, this is where perfection comes in. Our faith at that time must be perfect. We can't fail in faith. Must be perfect. Okay, the Father's perfection will cover us, but our faith and trust in him must be perfect without fail. And we're being developed as I'm speaking to you. We're now being developed. You're going to see more P. Diddy's. You're going to see more Sarah Huckabees. You're going to see more stuff like Donald Trump and all of this. You're going to see a lot more of these type of Israeli domination and support from the nations. You're going to see that. That's going to come. It's coming. It's going to become more and more and more pronounced, brethren. until it culminates, especially as we now know this is the 6th month. We're just finished the midpoint of the 6th month of the Hebrew year. We got the 6th month, we got 2 more weeks. It's going to be the October, it'll be the 7th month this year. 7th month, the first day of the month is the trumpets. Hope y'all got yours. And then the 10th day of the 7th month is the Day of Atonement. Also will be in 3 years, the Jubilee. And then the 15th day of the month is the day of Feast of Tabernacles. So, brethren, it's all a sign. We're all seeing it. It's a sign. We're seeing it in the sun, the moon, in the skies. It's coming. Right, about 2 weeks, Castle King, is going to be the first day. I hope it's clearer than the 6th month. The 6th month, you could hardly see the new moon, but hopefully we can see it now coming in the 7th month. I thank the Most High. Last night in the east, did y'all see it? It was up in the east, way up in the eastern sky, the full moon last night, up in the eastern sky. I'm expecting it to rise out of the south come 7th month. Okay, come rising out of the south for the next 3 months. Come 7th, 8th, and 9th month. Okay. But yeah. But yeah, so it's already phase 1 of Ish hitting the fan has already started. And it's going to get worse for the heathen. We're going to suffer too, but we have the Father on our side, and he will preserve us through all this. In fact, it's his desired aim to deliver us, and he will. He will. It's moving fast, isn't it? Y'all notice that, right? Time is flying, man. I know people that are doubters will say, well, it's not going any faster. No, it's going faster. Have y'all noticed the time is going fast, man? It's flying. It's flying. The Father's, and what that means, the Father's trying to wrap this thing up. He's wrapping it up, man. He's wrapping it up. He is. He's wrapping it up. And so he's been ready. He's just getting his 144,000 ready. He's been ready. But just remember that. What we know, most people don't know, and this is one of the things. He's not worried about nothing else happening in the earth. He's only concerned with his 144,000. That's it. He's not worried about none of this other stuff. All this Hezbollah stuff, all this other stuff, all this assassination, all P. Diddy's and all this other mess. He ain't worried about that. He concerned one thing, the 144,000. And they're sealed. That's his people. He's concerned with that. That's it. And so you are his concern. You are his concern. And as long as you are seeking him, he's got you. He got me. He's going to guide us. May the Most High bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Shalom, family.